Hello, YouTube. Hello, vinyl community. And special hello to Steve Carlson, who is thinking back. I don't want to use the word celebrating, but um, 1 year ago when Midland here had that big flood, um, I was spared. I was one of the lucky ones here in Midland. Half the town was flooded, and the other half was spared. And I was one of those who were spared. Um, Even though the Midland Water Department was overwhelmed and shut down, I was still high enough where I had no problems. But Steve talked about how thankful he is to everybody in the DC and how we all should be thankful for each other. And it is true. You know, there are some really good people here in the vinyl community. Um, People who aren't so good don't last long, it seems like, in the vinyl community. But there are some really good people that I have made friends with, and I will be friends for life with. Um, my friends that I want to spotlight, it just so happens that three of them are right here in Michigan. And the fourth one I want to talk about is a Canadian. But the first person I want to say thank you to and talk about how much he has influenced my record collecting taste is Steve Carlson himself. I'm sure there's many of you that feel the same way. He's meant a lot to me as a friend. He's one of my best friends. We get together and we talk about records and we share, you know, music. We buy records for each other on occasion. And in this case, it's true. When he influenced me with buying me a gift, this is Herbie Hancock's Maiden Voyage. It's one of the jazz essentials, if you would. This is great jazz music. It goes right up there with Coltrane's best, with Miles' best. I didn't really think of Herbie Hancock in that aspect. I thought of him as just being a later jazz man that just fit in with a lot of others. But I come to find out that he is extremely, extremely good at what he plays, because he plays some different stuff. But anyhow, Steve gave me that as a present, and I thank you, Steve. But his early morning Sunday show, and it's that T-shirt that draws me into this contest. Lately, not too long ago, he showed this Beavis From record, and I had to get that record. And it's like everybody else, Steve has talked to me about some of the African music, and he's a great advocator and has a tremendous love for African music. And this is one that means so much to me. and I just love this album. And Witch and their Lazy Bone album. The next person I want to talk about is another guy from the state of Michigan, and many of you know Randy. He used to do a Friday night live show. He still does a live show every now and then, but he's kind of retired a little bit, where he doesn't do it regularly as much anymore. But he's influenced me tremendously on the music that I love, just by listening to the music that he played on Friday nights. Uh, and what he played was Wicked Lady. And these albums are so good. They're heavy rock and roll, and just loaded with psych and hard metal guitar. So, and then another one he talked about and I'd listened to was Dark. This one is Around the Edges. And another one he had talked about was Joe Bird's American Metaphysical Circus. And we've actually swapped some music, and he actually sent me this copy of Stoney and the Jagged Edge. Great garage music. Again, if you've listened to Dead Wax 66, and you might have heard him playing this album, Chasing Rainbows, on his Friday night show. But yeah, Randy has always been so kind to me, and I actually think that he's just a great host when he does his show. All right, next one would be Chris, the blues guy, vinyl, and if you was watching not too long ago, Chris had sent me some VCLT with Cherry People and Beaver Tree. And but besides that, Chris is all the time playing blues music for the vinyl community. And some of the music that he's played on his show, I have also fell in love with and went out and bought also. So he's the Canadian I was talking about. Now the last person that I'm going to talk about is Geoff. And Geoff is not as much of a, he doesn't do videos, but he's an avid member of the vinyl community. And I always just ask Geoff, I said, what kind of music should I be listening to? I just ask him that question straight out. And he will not only tell me, but he usually has music because he sells a lot of records too. And he is the one who got me into Japanese psych. So there's a whole stack of it here. Most of it's Japanese psych. This one, and the first one there is with Shinky Chin. And Shinky, just great on the guitar. And then there's Craig, the guy who did the album Craig, and he also did this one, which is like, I can't pronounce these very well. I think this one's just Apache, and this side is Inca, but it's like two of his other records that he did put together. And then he'd also introduced me to Phil Pearlman and relatively clean rivers. Again, you know, I got this one straight from Geoff. So there we go. Vinyl community. Steve, trying to show some of the influence that the vinyl community has had on me, and it goes up and down all day long. I mean, so many records, maybe as many as 25% of the records I get nowadays is straight from people showing or talking about records on the vinyl community. So that's about it. Short and sweet. Thank you, and we'll see you around. Bye-bye.